Before I start, let me just give you a quick overview of what I'll be testing. Here's a quick summary. USB ODE is a project that turns a Raspberry Pi into an optical disk emulator. So basically, it will allow you to take a Raspberry Pi loaded with CD-ROM images and allow you to load those images onto a PC with a USB port, with the PC thinking that the Raspberry Pi is a CD-ROM drive. There is even CD audio support. You should also know that this project is still in early development. It hasn't been officially released yet, so in this video, I'm working with a test build. So keep that in mind when watching this. I'm just really excited for the future of this project. So now let's get to the video. Hello everyone. Today I want to speak about this cool project for retro PCs with USB ports. It's called USB ODE, and what it does is that it allows you to use CD-ROM images on retro PCs. And it accomplishes by use of a Raspberry Pi that you connect to your retro PC with a USB port, and the Raspberry Pi acts as a CD-ROM drive. One of the coolest features of the USB ODE is that it supports CD audio. Right now, the USB ODE is in early development, but there are some test images that you can use to test it out. But one of the really cool features of the USB ODE is that it also supports CD audio. Having CD audio is super important when using DOS. This is because there are ways of reading CD images in DOS, but none of them support CD audio. With Windows 98, this isn't a problem because the software daemon tools can mount CD images and play back CD audio. CD audio becomes an issue when using DOS. DOS can play CD audio just fine with real CD-ROM drives, but as far as I know, there isn't any software that reads CD-ROM images in DOS and lets you play CD audio. That is until the USB ODE. So let me show you the device. So this is a USB ODE setup. It consists of below a Raspberry Pi, and then you have two options of a daughter board that you can attach to the USB ODE. And there's this Pirate Audio DAC, or you can use this WaveShare daughter board. These provide a way to control the USB ODE from, without using its web interface. They're not required, but if you want CD audio, you need this Pirate Audio DAC because the CD audio is not sent to the USB port. It's being sent out through its line out jack on the Pirate Audio. So the way you set it up on DOS is basically you take a USB cable, attach it to the port on the Raspberry Pi Zero that is for USB. It also provides power out, this port. You don't want to touch this port because this port is only for power. This port will provide USB data and power. So you attach this to the Retro PC, which I have it attached here. And with the Pirate Audio, right now the screen is not working. I don't know why. USB OD, the USB ODE software is still in early development, so I'm not gonna bother the developer about this. I just use the web interface because it can connect over Wi-Fi to switch images. So I'll just wait until the official USB ODE is released to see why the screen is not working. But yeah, on the Pirate Audio DAC, if I want CD audio, I basically connect a audio cable to this line out port, and I connected the other end to a speaker that I've connected. So this is my USB audio setup. You can connect this directly to the line in port of your retro PC, but my retro PC, I have it configured that the line in port is being used up by some wavetable daughter boards. Those wavetable daughter boards consist of a Dream Blaster XHES and an MT32 Pi. So the line in won't work for me unless I configure the motherboard to enable the line in port. So right now I'm using this external speaker. I have the regular audio output on my retro PC connected to the speakers on this monitor. So yeah, now let me show you the USB ODE in action. Okay, so here I am on my retro PC. So let me boot it up just to show you that I have a configuration for DOS that reads USB CD-ROM drives. So I'll reboot it. Okay, and as you can see here, my CD-ROM drive is the Y drive. So now let me go to the Y drive and see what's there. Here, this is the installation for Quake. And let me show you. Since the screen is not working here for me, and I can't change CD images using this device. I'll figure out that another time when the USB ODE software is more mature, but it does have a web interface. And this is how the web interface looks like. It shows me a list of the CD ISOs that I inserted into an SD card. And yeah, you can see that the Quake file has been inserted. So yeah, the USB ODE supports ISOs and BinQ files. But let me switch to another BinQ file that supports CD audio, and I'll switch to Screamer. So now it's switched to the new ISO, the new CD image. And if I show this directory listing again, it's now the directory listing for Screamer. Let me show you how the CD audio works in Screamer. So if I go to its setup program, here it shows me some system information. And if I hit enter, I now get to, it tells me, the screen resolution, the controls, and sound card settings that are set to. If I hit enter again, no, if I go, I don't want Super VGA. If I go to sound card, I get the sound options. I'll set my sound card to Sound Blaster Pro. And then the CD-ROM, now it's using the CD-ROM for the music card. I can test the sound for the Sound Blaster. If I hit enter, you'll hear some digital audio sound. Right now, this is not CD-ROM sound. Okay, now let me test the music. And you can hear music coming out of here. So yeah, you can see that CD audio is working, and this is under DOS. So let me show you Quake CD audio. Let me exit this. No, I won't save. Let me go game CD, Quake. It might ask me to change the CD-ROM. It might tell me that the CD-ROM is not inserted, but let's see. Okay. Something weird is happening. Let me lower the volume first. Quake is playing CD audio, but it's playing CD audio. Let me me lower the volume. Quake is playing CD audio, but it's playing CD audio for Screamer. As you can see, it's the same CD audio file from the setup of Screamer. Now let me exit Quake and switch the CD image from the web interface onto the USB ODE. Let me exit. Okay, so here, let me return to the file list and I'll select the Quake CD-ROM image. So now that's mounted. Now it should play the correct audio from the CD-ROM for Quake. So I'll open up Quake again. I'm not getting any audio. It worked before. Let me see what's going on here. CD music, is that correct? Did I run out of battery on the speaker? No. Okay, I don't remember if Quake plays CD audio at the beginning, but let me start a game. Oh, it's supposed to. Yeah, it's supposed to play CD audio at the beginning. If it plays the audio from Screamer, it should play the CD audio. So maybe, let me see. Maybe it's because I loaded the bin and not the queue. Let me see if that's the case. I'll return to the listing. Quake queue. Let's see what happens if I do that. I'll open up Quake again. Huh. Still no audio. It worked before. Let me see what's going on. Let me go to the Y drive. That is the correct Quake location. That's correct Quake listing. Let me go back to the Screamer to see if it plays it. Now it's not playing. So again, this is a very, very early project and it still hasn't been officially released. So I'm just testing out a test build right now. So now the Screamer audio is not working. Let me try going back to Screamer. I probably might have to reset the USB ODE, but let's see. I'll go to Screamer. The audio is working with Screamer. CD audio is working. So Why isn't it working with Quake? It was working before.
3, 2, 1.
So the CD audio is working with Screamer. I go to its setup just to show you again. So I don't think the USB ODE has to be reset. Maybe something with Quake. So yeah, you can see there that the music is working. Go back. Let me go back to Quake. Now it plays a Screamer. So what I'm gonna do is maybe Quake doesn't like it when you put in a different CD audio while it's playing. So I'm gonna reset the computer, and then I'm gonna reload. And while it's resetting, I'm gonna change the ISO back to Quake. Hopefully a restart will fix this issue because Screamer is working fine. Okay, so now let me go Quake. Cross our fingers. Let's hope this works. And it's working. So yeah, that is the USB ODE. It's so far it's a pretty awesome project. It's going to be great for those who don't want to use a real CD-ROM drive in their retro DOS setups, but unfortunately it does require USB ports. So if you have an old computer that doesn't have USB ports and you want to use CD-ROM images, then take a look at the Zulu IDE. This, however, is much cheaper because the Raspberry Pi, which is a $10 device, maybe less, sometimes more. And then the Pirate Audio is like $20, around that much. So yeah, this device is pretty awesome. So this ticks another box for my retro PC because I needed a way to get CD audio in DOS for those games that use CD audio. It wasn't an issue with Windows 98 because, like I said before, Daemon Tools provided a way to play CD audio from CD images. So yeah, thanks for watching and like, subscribe, and I'll speak to you next time.